Thank you so much for joining us today for this lovely, gentle, and accessible yoga practice. My name is Christine. I am a certified yoga therapist, and we are practicing together with a group from the organization called Breast Friends in Tigard. So if you or anyone you know might benefit from their organization, please click on the link to their website below. So we'll be practicing in our chair today. So please make sure you have a sturdy chair that's not going to roll away under you as we move around. But I will give some options for doing some of these postures while standing as well. So first, we just want to start out feeling our feet on the ground. If you can be barefoot here, so much the better. But if you're not, no big deal. But if you can be barefoot, just feel the skin of the bottoms of your feet on the ground, and closing your eyes can help you to do this. If you're not barefoot, just notice how it feels to have your skin in your socks or your shoes, maybe your slippers if you're practicing at home. And just really connect with the sensation. Bring all of your awareness down to it. And then you might notice if you're carrying any tension in your shoulders or your arms, your chest or your belly. Just noticing any places that could benefit from a little bit of softening. And then begin to notice your breath. Notice if you're feeling expansion in your chest or your belly or some combination of the two. Just beginning to really tune in to what's going on in your body right now. You might notice you're a little tense or anxious or sad or anything that comes up for you. Just be with those feelings. Just being able to name what is happening within us can be a really helpful way of bringing awareness to those feelings so that we can begin to heal them, begin to accept them. And as this practice is with a group from Breast Friends, these folks have dealt with some major trauma. And a lot of times people who have traumatic illnesses later in life also had traumatic childhoods. And so you might be dealing with some trauma today, some anxiety, or some depression, or some pain. Just being able to sit with those feelings without running away from them, without judging yourself for them. I know it often happens when we have an experience in our life that's difficult. We beat up on ourselves because we're not over it fast enough. We want to physically get back out into things. We want to have the bad feelings, the difficulties all gone as fast as possible. But the only way to get there is to go through. So we're just going to practice being with our feelings, being with our physical and emotional sensations today, and bringing ourselves back to balance and back to harmony. So just being tender with yourself here, accepting whatever is your situation right now. Acceptance doesn't mean you like it. It just means it is what it is. And one of the first things we're going to do today to bring balance back into the body is a breathing practice called Nadi Shodhana. It's an alternate nostril breathing. You can bring your index finger, if that's comfortable, of your right hand right between your eyebrows, just above the brow line. And if you have difficulty in the right arm, you can use your left arm. And if both arms are not happy today, you can just let your hands rest in your lap and just bring your awareness to that point between the brows. And then we'll take our thumb and close the right nostril. And as you inhale, focus on the sensation of the breath coming into the left nostril. And then use one of your fingers to close the left nostril and open the right nostril, lifting the thumb. And then as you exhale, notice the sensation of the breath leaving your right nostril. And then inhale through the right side, close the right side, open the left side, and exhale. That is one round here. If you are not using the hand mudra at all, you can just bring your awareness to the sensation of breathing in through the left nostril and then noticing the exhale from the right. And then noticing the inhale sensation in the right nostril. Maybe taking it all the way up to that point between the brows. And then noticing the sensation of the exhale out the left side. So I'm going to do it with the hand mudra. Breathe at your own pace. Just be paying attention to the bilateral movement here of the breath. You can inhale and exhale for as long as feels good to you, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 seconds for each one. And we'll do 3 more full rounds. So inhale and exhale, left and right each. Staying with your sensations, with your awareness. And after you've completed those 3 full rounds, release your hands into your lap, palms resting up. Let your shoulders soften back and down from your ears and lengthen the back of your neck up towards the sky. And just notice how you feel now. And then we'll begin to get a little bit of movement here. So turning the palms back down if that feels okay to you. We're just going to rotate the head, kind of spinning it around, looking down towards the ground as you bring the head forward, one ear over the shoulder and then looking up towards the sky, and then the opposite ear over its shoulder. It doesn't matter what direction you start because we will reverse those directions. And continue to feel what's happening in your body. Feel what's going on in your neck. Slow it down. Not just moving for movement's sake, but feeling all the subtle sensations that happen along the way. And then when you're ready, we'll reverse those circles. Continuing to stay with your physical experience here and whatever emotions might be coming up with you, letting yourself come out of the thinking mind a little bit. Just a couple more in this direction. Now you might want to stay with this, or we're going to bring the hands behind the neck, interlacing the fingers. And again, if that's not comfortable for the shoulders or the arms, you could use just one arm or keep the hands down. And we're going to get a little deeper into those circles. So now we're circling the shoulders and the upper back, bowing forward, rounding the shoulder blades. And circling back, squeezing them together a little bit. And the next time you come forward, we'll reverse those circles. And again, feel all the subtle sensations. Listen to all the sounds your spine and your neck might be making here. Keep your feet flat on the ground. And then the next time you round forward, let's go ahead and just let the elbows sink down and let your back round as much as feels good to you. Let your hands way down your head if they're there. And just tractioning out your spine. One more full breath here. And then we'll inhale, reach those elbows up towards the sky. Open up your arms and look upward as much as feels good to you. So again, either with or without the arms here. You squeeze the shoulder blades together, open up the elbows, and let that head come back as much as feels okay in your neck. One more inhale wherever you are. And then we'll exhale, release, and come back to that tall spine. And we'll get into those arms a little bit here. Let's go ahead and interlace the fingers right in front and turn the palms down towards the ground. Have your forearms parallel to the ground and the elbows pointing away from each other. Let's just kind of hold those fingers together and draw them apart without actually coming apart. So just a little stretch here. And then we'll bring the palms together and press. Inhale to draw those elbows away. Exhale to press them in, press the palms together. Couple more. And then we'll release, just shake out your arms, let them hang long. And then we'll take care of our arms. So let's just bring the right hand to the top of the lap here and bring your left thumb inside the center of the palm. And you can just rest your right hand down on your lap, and we're just gonna make some circles here on the inside of the palm with the thumb. When we get tension, some of us have had surgery up in the lymph nodes, in the chest area, in the armpits. And that tension can travel all the way through your body, and especially in your arms when we're compensating for injuries. So we want to take care of the arms, the shoulders, the forearms, the elbows, and then move up a little bit, just massaging that right wrist. And then we'll turn the palm down and massage the left forearm. Using your thumb and your fingers, you can kind of walk up and down the forearm, just squeezing, maybe using your knuckles, whatever feels right to you. And then we'll move above the elbow, getting into the tricep and the bicep, all the way up towards the shoulder. And then all the way back down the arm. And then we'll extend that right arm out long, bend your wrists downwards so the fingertips are pointing down, and we'll just gently draw the fingertips towards the torso with a little gentle encouragement from that left hand. And then we'll release. And then same thing on the opposite side. We'll bring that thumb to the left palm now, just massaging here. And then up into the wrist. And take your time, you know, if you were giving this massage to a loved one, you wouldn't rush through it or kind of half-ass it. You would take your time and be loving and gentle. And we want to bring that same energy to our yoga practice. So we'll come up above the elbow. Just being kind and gentle and loving and noticing any tenderness with compassion and, again, acceptance. It is what it is, but we're taking care of it. And then we'll move our arms, or the massaging sensation, all the way back down the left arm. And then we'll draw those left fingers down to the ground and draw them back with the right hand. Just a little stretch for the top of the forearm here. And then we'll shake that out as well. We'll get a little bit more into the torso here. So let's extend the arms out at shoulder height or as high as feels good. And this time the fingers will be pressing up. And we're gonna press the right palm forward as we draw the left arm back. So the right shoulder is coming forward, that left shoulder is going back. And then we'll alternate, drawing that right shoulder back, pressing the left hand forward. And we'll just go side to side like this. That can be really intense here. Just a couple more on each side. And then we'll release, and this time we'll flip the palms up. Keep the palms facing down, but the fingers go down. So instead of fingers up, fingers down, and we'll do the same thing. Reaching the wrists forward and the shoulders back. Just keeping that spine long and strong, noticing if you're swaying to one side or the other. And when you've done an even amount on both sides, we'll release that and just shake it out. And just notice what you notice for a moment, maybe coming back to closing your eyes. Notice any sense of energy, lightness, heaviness, whatever you notice. And then we'll get into the side body a little bit, doing a few twists here. So let's get the feet involved as well. We're just gonna inhale and peel those heels up off the ground as we twist gently over to the right. Couple breaths over here. One more inhale. Exhale, feet on the ground and back to center. And then inhale, raise those heels and twist left. Keeping that nice tall spine here. Couple breaths right here. Get long with that inhale. And exhale, back to center. This time we're gonna flip it. So we'll press the heels to the ground and lift the toes towards the sky. We'll twist to the right. Just gently drawing that right shoulder back and down. One more inhale for some length here, and exhale, feet down back to center. And then over to the left, lift those toes. Find a last inhale here, and then we'll exhale back to center. Then we'll get a little length in those side bodies. So you can just reach down here with those right fingertips. Let your head just kind of bow over towards the right. And then we'll come back through center and reach down with the left fingertips, letting that left ear come towards your left shoulder. Now you might want to stay here with the arms low and extended down towards the ground. Or you might come to cactus arms. And continue going side to side here, squeezing those shoulder blades towards one another. Or you might want to reach those arms up to the sky and kind of cartwheel the arms. Just let it be fluid and flowy. Find what works best for your body. Just noticing the sensations as you notice them. One more time to each side. And then we'll all inhale back up to that nice tall spine. Let's roll the shoulders up and down and back. And then let's get into those hips a little bit. So let's go ahead and just come to the front of your chair as far as you comfortably can. And we're just gonna hug that right knee up towards the heart. Now you can hug that without your hands. You can use your hands on your thigh, under the thigh, or around the front of the shin. And we're just gonna rotate that ankle a couple of times in each direction. And point and flex that toe. Just moving all of our joints here today, getting some greater fluidity. And then we'll bring that right heel forward as much as you can, likely supporting the hamstring underneath with your hands, or maybe to build strength, you're just extending that leg out long. And you can lift it as high as you like, or maybe it's low down towards the ground. Whatever feels good to you, just pressing through that heel. And then we'll lower down. And then again on the left, hug the left knee in, make some circles with the ankle. And point and flex that toe. And then extend the left leg out long, either with the support of your hands or pressing out with your hands open, your heart lifted and your spine long. Couple breaths wherever you are. And then we'll lower down. And here we're gonna open up just a little bit more here. So let's interlace the fingers and bring them behind the back. Press the tops of your hands, your knuckles down towards your seat, and squeeze the shoulder blades together as you open up your heart and your throat. Now you can stay on your chair here, or if you like, you can come to a seat and then draw those knuckles down towards the ground and maybe come back a little bit farther, opening up the front of the hips here. Opening up the throat. And then let's inhale, reach those arms forward and then up towards the sky. And then once again, we'll interlace fingers behind the back. Again, you can do this from your seat or standing. This time we're gonna interlace those fingers with the non-dominant thumb on top. So kind of feel a little bit awkward, but again, that helps to keep us grounded, helps to support our neuroplasticity. Letting your hips come forward as much as feels good to you. And then whether you're seated or standing, you might begin to come forward And bow towards your thighs, bending your knees as much as feels good and lifting your hands up towards the sky as much as feels good. Let your head be heavy, whether you're seated or standing. Just let everything be soft as you open up across the shoulders. And again, you can keep your arms low or bring them up high, whatever feels right for you today. One more inhale. And then gentle release of those fingers, and we'll roll back up to a tall spine, one vertebra at a time. Roll the shoulders up and down and back. Bring your hands to rest on your lap, palms up or down, whatever feels right. And just notice what you notice. And then just a little more bilateral movement. These bilateral movements, like the alternate nostril breathing, help our bodies and our brains to come back into balance. And it helps to strengthen the connection between the right and left hemispheres of the brain. So we can bring a little creativity to our logic and a little bit of organization to our creativity, perhaps. So bilateral means the opposite sides of the body. So just like we did with the breathing, this time we'll go ahead and extend that left leg out long and the right arm. And then we'll lower down. And then we'll extend right leg, left arm and lower down. And again, leg and arm can be as high or as low as feels good to you. You might even reach your fingertips up towards the sky rather than a shoulder height if that feels right. And just keep tall in the spine here. Think about engaging your core a little bit to support your back. And if that's not enough for you, you can come to lift the knee from a standing position. Or maybe you extend the leg out long. Or lift the arm up to the sky. Woo! It's just challenging to do this bilateral movement. And it really helps us to focus on what we're doing. So whatever feels good to you. A couple more times on each side, whatever you're practicing here. And then we'll come back to our seat. And just notice what you notice. You might notice your heartbeat a little more strongly. You might notice your breath has gotten away with you. You might lasso that breath back in. Invite it to come deep into your belly. And we'll bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. And we'll just hold ourselves here with love, with tenderness, with acceptance for everything that's going on, whatever's happening in your life. And when we're tempted to beat ourselves up for not being farther along in our recovery, for not getting things the first time, or whatever it is, we do tend to beat ourselves up. We can be our own worst critics sometimes. Extend yourself the same compassion and tenderness you would extend to anyone else going through a similar experience. Holding yourself here with love, with gratitude, just for your breath and your body and your ability to be here. Soften your jaw and the muscles around your eyes, and let your shoulders soften as well. Hug your elbows in towards your body. Just another few breaths here. Honoring your journey, honoring yourself and all the parts of yourself. With your next inhale, let's release the hands from the body and open them up as much as feels good. And then exhale to bring your hands together to meet at your heart. Bowing your chin towards your chest in respect and gratitude for yourself. And it is my sincere hope that you find peace and harmony and healing within. Namaste.